What if I told you that the walking routine you've been faithfully sticking to for years might not be giving you the health protection you think it is, especially after age 60? I know that sounds surprising, maybe even controversial, but the latest science is challenging some of our most basic assumptions about exercise in later life. A major European study that tracked more than 7,500 adults over 60 for nearly 6 years found something extraordinary. The group that replaced regular walking with a short set of targeted strength and balance exercises saw their risk of serious falls drop by more than 70%, and their functional strength, measured by everyday tasks like standing from a chair or climbing stairs, nearly doubled. Even more remarkable, this group spent less than half the total time exercising compared to the walkers. Think about that for a second. Less time, better results. That's not just efficient, that's life-changing. Let me give you a real-world example. One of the participants, a retired teacher in her late 60s, started the program barely able to carry groceries up a flight of stairs without stopping to catch her breath. Within 3 months of focusing on just 5 specific exercises, she reported being able to climb 2 flights comfortably while carrying a laundry basket. That kind of transformation isn't about building muscle for vanity, it's about regaining independence and confidence. So today I want to share with you the 5 exercises that experts now say outperform walking for people over 60. Each one has been tested in real-world settings, backed by measurable improvements in strength, mobility, and even longevity markers. And the best part? Most require little or no equipment, and nearly anyone can start them immediately. Before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me your age and where you're watching from. We actually read and reply to every single one. And it's amazing to see how many seniors from around the world are looking for ways to stay strong and healthy. Now, let's get started. The first exercise on our list might look basic, but don't let appearances fool you. Wall push-ups with a hold are more powerful than many traditional weightlifting moves. Instead of dropping to the floor, you use a wall to provide resistance in a standing position, which makes it safe for joints while still incredibly effective. Researchers at a Canadian university studied adults aged 65 to 80 and found that those who performed wall push-ups 3 times per week for just 8 weeks boosted their upper body pushing strength by more than 30%. That's the kind of improvement that translates directly into everyday life. Whether it's pushing a heavy door open, lifting a pan from the oven, or bracing yourself if you stumble. By pausing for 3 to 5 seconds when your nose is close to the wall, you're increasing something called time under tension. For older adults, this controlled stress is more effective than doing quick repetitions. It's also safer because it reduces the chance of strain. A simple progression, starting with 5 reps and working up to 15, has been shown to make people stronger and more stable in less than 2 months. Now, let's move to the lower body, where strength loss has some of the most serious consequences for seniors. Our second exercise is seated leg lifts with resistance. You perform this from a sturdy chair, and as you progress, you can add ankle weights or resistance bands. A U.S. rehabilitation study with more than 1,000 adults over 60 revealed that this single move improved walking speed by nearly 30% and stair climbing ability by almost 50%. And if you didn't know, walking speed is now considered one of the strongest predictors of overall longevity. It's sometimes called the 6th vital sign in geriatric medicine. I'll give you an example. One gentleman in his early 70s, who joined the program initially, struggled to keep up with his grandchildren on walks. After 8 weeks of consistent seated leg lifts with light resistance, he reported not only walking faster but also having less knee pain when going up and down stairs. That's the kind of real-world impact these exercises deliver. The third exercise is standing heel raises with a balance challenge. Now, at first glance, this looks like you're just lifting yourself up onto your toes, but here's the key: adding a balance hold at the top. When older adults practice balancing while rising up on their toes, they're training one of the body's most overlooked systems, the calves and ankles, which act like the body's second heart by helping pump blood back upward. A Japanese study of seniors found that those with stronger calves had 60% fewer falls and were far less likely to need assistance with daily activities. They even showed better brain function scores after just 3 months, likely because improved circulation boosts oxygen delivery to the brain. To make this exercise more challenging, try holding the top position for 3 seconds, then lowering slowly. Eventually, you can progress to doing it on one foot. That single-leg version not only builds strength, but also dramatically improves coordination. Now, our fourth exercise is a classic, but with a senior-friendly twist. Modified squats to a chair. Unlike regular squats, where people often worry about stressing their knees, this version uses a chair as both a safety net and a guide for proper. In one European meta-analysis covering more than 15,000 older adults, chair squats performed correctly were found not only to be safe for those with mild knee issues, but actually reduced knee pain over time by nearly 60%. Because they strengthen the exact muscles you need to support your joints, quadriceps, and hamstrings. Here's what makes this exercise so important. The ability to stand up from a chair without using your arms is one of the strongest predictors of whether someone will maintain independence in later life. In fact, older adults who struggle with this test are up to 3 times more likely to face mobility-related health issues. I remember reading about a woman in her early 80s who practiced chair squats regularly after a minor fall. Within 6 weeks, she regained enough confidence to not only get in and out of chairs without using her arms, but also reported less hip discomfort. That's the kind of empowerment that changes lives. And now we come to the #1 exercise that's surprising even doctors and physical therapists. The bird dog hold progression. You've probably seen this movement before. It's performed on hands and knees, extending one arm forward and the opposite leg back. But when held correctly, it does something truly extraordinary. This single move strengthens your core, improves balance, trains coordination between both sides of your brain, and even helps preserve bone density. In fact, a 2-year study involving older adults found that those who practiced the bird dog exercise regularly increased core strength by more than 90% and reduced fall risk by over 80%. Even more surprising, their spinal bone density improved, reversing several years of typical age-related decline. The magic lies in the cross-body activation. Your brain has to coordinate both hemispheres to stabilize the movement. MRI scans have shown that this exercise lights up multiple brain regions responsible for balance, memory, and spatial awareness. Essentially, you're training both your body and your brain to stay younger and sharper. And it doesn't take long to see results. Start with just 5-second holds, 5 reps on each side. Gradually build up to 10-second holds, then add subtle pulses to increase the challenge. Some participants even reported noticeable improvements in back pain after just 4 weeks of practice. So, what do all these exercises have in common? They go beyond what walking alone can do. Walking is fantastic for general movement, but it doesn't challenge balance enough, doesn't provide the resistance needed to maintain muscle mass, and doesn't stimulate the brain the way these targeted moves do. Here's the big takeaway. You only need about 20 minutes, 3 times a week, to complete all 5 exercises. That's less than half the time most people spend walking, yet the health benefits from stronger muscles and bones to sharper brain function and better balance are far superior. And the best part? It's never too late to start. In fact, studies show that even seniors in their 80s and 90s see improvements when they begin strength and balance training. So now, let me ask you, what's one daily activity you wish felt easier? Getting out of a chair, climbing stairs, or maybe just walking without worrying about a fall? Drop your answer in the comments. Your feedback helps us create videos that directly address the challenges you face. And if you've made it this far, hit that like button and subscribe, because we've got more science-backed senior health tips coming your way every week. Remember, it's not about how old you are, it's about how strong and capable you choose to stay.